And welcome back to another hydroponics video. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I muck around with hydroponics, with aquaponics, different systems, solar pumps, no pumps, which is going to be the easiest method in the world. You've got to try this if you've never tried hydroponics before. And aquaponics, which is just fish producing chemical waste and growing plants, and yeah, all sorts of mucking around. But this system is called the Kratky method. I think it's from Bernard Kratky, I'm pretty sure. I'm probably butchering his name. But what you need to know is this is the easiest way of doing hydroponics ever. You don't have to use fancy buckets like I've got. You don't have to use skewers. Well, that's bamboos, that's pretty cheap. And you don't have to use fancy pots with holes already drilled in them. Yes, anything will work with this method. So you just need some sort of tub or something that's going to hold your hydroponic solution. And I'll go through what this is in this video. It's water with just stuff added, and that is incredibly easy as well. That's probably the only thing that you'll need to buy. Everything else you can practically get for free. So, as I said, you need some sort of tub and that. In this system, we're going to use tomatoes, and tomatoes will get pretty big. So if you have a look at this system here, and this is another hydroponic system, but this is just using a solar pump. It's pumping water through these little bato buckets, and then it is going overflowing into that tub there. So this is like a fancy version of what you're about to see in this video. But tomato plants will get quite big. So they're going to get 3 to 5 foot tall, depending on the species, well, the variety. They're all the same species, depending on the variety. So as they grow, their roots are going to absorb more nutrients, and yeah, you do need a decent volume of water to keep them happy. So these buckets here are about a 20-litre bucket, and yeah, that's going to be enough water to support one tomato plant. Now, not all tomato plants are going to survive, so it pays you to get extra tomato plants when you do buy them, or if you get given them from someone else, etc., etc. So we've got 6 buckets here. I did end up with, I think, 8 tomato plants. I don't even know what type these are, pot prize, whatever a pot prize tomato is, who knows. But they are just a normal tomato plant that's going to get a decent size. So these little skewers going through the pot are going to be the supports, because tomato plants aren't great at supporting their own weight. If you have a look at this system, that's why I've got little skewers with zip ties just holding them in. In the wild, they grow in between other plants, if you can even call them wild plants. You know, wild tomatoes grow like that in between other plants, and that just supports them. But getting back to this method, all you need is really a pot, and you can use any secondhand pot you want. Drill a whole lot of holes in the pot. You want your pot sitting just so that the bottom of it is in the water like that. So you want to make sure that you've got roughly where your water level needs to be. Drill a hole in the pot so that your water level is always going to be at that level. And then as the plants actually grow and the roots come through the bottom of the pot, they're going to take up that nutrients and that water, and your water level is going to go down. And it's important not to top it up after that, because you want the water level to go down and you want more oxygen to the roots so they don't rot. It's an awesome method. So a little bit different than the method where the water gets pumped through and then goes back out, because once you've set up this hydroponic solution, that's it. You don't have to stuff around with it anymore. And the less work for any of this stuff, the better. So this is an absolute dodgy hole. Yeah, I've butchered that, but it doesn't matter. That sits right down flush like that. And then you need some sort of media to actually grow your plant. So you don't want to use dirt. You just want to use something simple, like you can use volcanic rock. You can use scoria, which is volcanic rock. This stuff here, which is just perlite. Anything that's inert that supports the plant, so it's actually got a foothold on something, is going to work perfectly fine. So we've got this stuff, which is just a ceramic media, whatever the hell that's called. Starts with L. I'll probably put it on the screen. If I haven't put it on the screen, it doesn't really matter. But you put your media in there. You want to just build it up a little bit, pop your plant in there, and then put your rest of your media. Now, you can either use the dirt or not use the dirt. It really doesn't matter. Let's just grab one of our tomatoes. And this is an interesting thing too. You'll get big ones, small ones. Some will grow better than others. Yeah, it doesn't overly matter which one you pick. We're just going to put the camera down and place our tomato in our media. Okay, that is what our tomato plant looks like with a little bit of dirt attached. Now, we're doing the lazy method. We are not actually removing any of the dirt from the roots. We are just going to gently put the plant there like that. And then we're just going to grab some more of our media and just place it around the whole pot. Whole pot inside the pot. We've also got a little skewer going through the bottom of the pot because, as I said, that's where we're going to attach them. But that is pretty much it. So for the first couple of days, we're just going to give them a tiny little bit of water. So we're going to take some nutrient solution from the bottom, just pour it in the top. And that's the good thing with these methods is you can just take the whole lid and the plant up. You can get some water solution from the bottom, put it in there until the roots actually start to go towards the bottom. Then you don't have to touch it at all. So it depends on your climate too. Because I'm in a particularly really hot climate, if I don't water them to start with, they're just going to fry. So cold climates, inside, you probably won't need to do that, but it's just what we do here. And there we go. We have our tomato plant in our bucket doing its thing. You will need a decent amount of light, and if you've seen any of my other videos, with my aquaponics, we've got LED lights sitting on top. So if you want to use sort of something like that inside, it's going to make a big difference. If you've only got them sitting in a window with a little bit of light, they're probably not going to go too well. And if you have a look at this system, you can sort of see with this system, because this is undercover, these tomato plants, which are the ones at the back, are not nearly as big as the ones that are getting more light here. Look at the thickness of the stems. Yeah, so the ones that are getting more light are growing a lot better than the ones obviously that are not getting that light. So light does make a huge difference with any of these systems. So as I said, you can use just a normal LED light. This is an aquarium LED light, but you can use plant LED lights. Any amount of light just above the plants are going to make a huge difference. These ones are going to go a little bit more out undercover, and then I'm just going to have like a plastic canopy over the top to stop any rain from diluting that. Now, with the hydroponic solution, what I'm using is 1 gram per litre, and we're using calcium nitrate, and we're using the Diamond Special T, which is just pretty much a liquid fertilizer. Now, you'll need some sort of scales. Those are just our dodgy little scales. You don't have to muck around too much with it. So, we got 3, 4, 8. There we go. That is roughly 10 grams. Well, it's 11 grams. And all we're going to do with that is we're going to add that to our solution. And we're going to do the same with the calcium. Once they've stirred around in there, we're just going to set and forget. Give the plants a little bit of water each day for about a week, and then check the roots. Once the roots are in the solution, we're just going to ignore them, and away we go. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, click the thumbs up so I know. If you've got any questions whatsoever, just comment down below. Obviously that system works with any size tubs and pots and whatever. Bigger the plant, the more water volume you want, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Solution and decent lighting, and away you go. Obviously bugs can still wipe your plants out, so be extra cautious about little bugs and bits and pieces. Anyway, we will see you in the next video. If you want to watch any other stuff, there's stuff on the screen now, and we'll see you there.